Welcome students. Now we have gone through the first theory of failure, that was maximum principal stress theory of failure. Now the second one is maximum shear stress theory of failure. It was proposed by Guest and Trescas, therefore it is also called as Guest and Trescas theory of failure. According to this theory of failure, when a component at any point in the component experiences or its stress level reaches the shear stress level reaches the critical shear stress value, then the component is considered to have failed. Let us clear this statement. At any point in the component, when it is loaded biaxially or triaxially or multidirectionally, at any point when the shear stress reaches that shear stress value which this component was experiencing during tension test on UTM, so that value we are considering calling it critical. In that case, the component is considered to have failed. Now we know that we can represent sigma 1 and sigma 2 as the maximum and minimum principal stresses, and we know that the maximum shear stress at any point tau max is given as sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2, and this we have already studied in strength of material complex stresses chapter. So this maximum shear stress tau max is sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. When this value reaches the critical shear stress value, that is tau yp, if we say, that means tau shear stress yp at yield point while performing the tension test, and we know that this tau yp, that means the shear stress at yield point, can be written in the form of principal stress divided by 2, that means the stress, normal stress sigma yp divided by 2. So from here the equation becomes sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to sigma yp. That means the difference of the principal stresses is equal to sigma yp. Whenever the difference of principal stresses reaches the value of sigma at yield point while performing tension test on UTM, then the material or the component is considered to have failed according to this theory of failure. Okay, next, therefore we can say that sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to plus minus sigma yp. Why plus minus? Because whenever the stresses of sigma 1 sigma 2 are of same nature, they can be of different nature. So sigma 1 and sigma 2 can be both tensile, both compressive, and one tensile and other compressive. So in that case the equation will remain same, just the minus sign will be at the right side. So it can be considered as sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to plus minus sigma yp. Or if you divide each term by sigma yp, we get sigma 1 by sigma yp minus sigma 2 by sigma yp is equal to plus minus 1. Therefore we can say that this sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to plus minus sigma yp. If you divide each term by sigma yp, we get sigma 1 by sigma yp minus sigma 2 by sigma yp is equal to plus minus 1. Now we can see this sigma 1 is the value when the material at any point experiences or reaches this stress level. This sigma is the reference of tension test from UTM. Similarly sigma 2 and sigma yp, that means whenever if we consider sigma 2 to be 0, if sigma 2 is 0, then sigma 1 will become sigma yp. If sigma 1 becomes 0 from this equation, then sigma 2 will become plus minus sigma yp. So from this data we can have a plot, that the plot looks like in the first and third quadrant it is exactly similar to that of the maximum principal stress theory or Rankine theory, but in second and fourth quadrant it seems to have compressed. So it looks like a hexagon, although it is not a regular hexagon, it is an irregular hexagon, and this hexagon is called as Tresca's hexagon. Now in this video attached here, we will see how this hexagon plot for this maximum shear stress theory is obtained. Now in this second theory of failure, that is Guest and Tresca's theory of failure or maximum shear stress theory of failure, we know that here tau max is maximum stress minus minimum stress upon 2, and this can be written as tau max is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2, and this maximum shear stress value while performing tensile test on UTM, this tau max or critical value was nothing but SYS upon factor of safety, and this value where this SYS is nothing but 0.5 times of yield tensile test strength, that is this is SYT upon 2. So, if you put it here and we compare that, then we say tau max is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2, which becomes SYT upon twice factor of safety. SYT upon factor of safety is what? SYT upon factor of safety is the stress, and half of that it becomes shear stress. So, from here the formula becomes sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2 is equal to SYT upon twice factor of safety. 2 can be cancelled out, and the equation becomes sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT upon factor of safety. This you must have seen in the previous explanation or the slides. Now, we need to represent this, show this Guest and Tresca's theory of failure through our representation, graphical representation, like we have already drawn for first, that is maximum principal stress theory. Similarly, we need to draw the plot for maximum shear stress theory. Now, you must have seen in the previous slides and presentation where the plot was similar to that of maximum principal stress theory in first and third quadrant, and it was like this. In first and third quadrant, it was similar to the maximum principal stress theory, and in third, in second and fourth quadrant, it was like this. And so, the plot looks like a hexagon, although it is not a regular hexagon, it is a hexagon, and this is called as Tresca's hexagon. Now, how did we get this plot is the question that must be there in your mind. So, let us see the first case for representing this theory of failure graphically. We will see how this plot is obtained. When sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2 and both are say alike, we can say like stresses. When sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2 and both are alike stresses, then we will get the plot in first and third quadrant. If in this case, if we put sigma 2 is equal to 0 in the equation that we have derived, sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT upon factor of safety. If you put sigma 2 0, then what do we get? We get sigma 1 is equal to SYT upon factor of safety. If we consider factor of safety to be 1, then it becomes sigma 1 is equal to SYT. So, sigma 1 is SYT, depending upon the nature of sigma 1, if it is positive it will be plus, it will be negative, so it will be minus. So, that can be represented here. So, this line represents sigma 1 is equal to plus SYT, this line represents sigma 1 is equal to minus SYT. The second is if sigma 1 is again greater than sigma 2, but unlike stresses, in the case of unlike stresses, we will get the plot for second and fourth quadrant. Now, in this case, if sigma 1 is equal to 0, then we get sigma 2 is equal to minus SYT upon factor of safety, because we have to put this in equation number this. If sigma 1 is 0, the sigma 2 becomes so minus, and if sigma 2 is 0, we get sigma 1 is equal to plus SYT upon factor of safety. But we can see the equation was sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT upon factor of safety. This equation is similar to the equation of line, that is y is equal to mx plus c. That means we can write sigma 1 is equal to this portion that side, mx plus c in this term. So, this equation is similar to equation of straight line. So, definitely this if you put any one value 0, we will get a point. So, when we put sigma 1 0, sigma 1 value is 0, we get sigma 2. So, this is the point. When we put sigma 2 0, when sigma 2 is 0, we get sigma 1 value. So, this is the case for unlike. Similarly, if we have the third case where sigma 2 is greater than sigma 1, and similarly unlike and like, similarly for unlike and like, we will get this line for like, and for unlike we will get the slopes. So, by this way we will get the next 2 points, and so the plot becomes a hexagon called as Tresca's hexagon. Now, we can write all the equations of all the lines that we see here very clearly. If you want to write, this is equal to SYT and this is for sigma 2, therefore, sigma 2 plus SYT considering factor of safety 1. Similarly, this will be sigma 2 is equal to SYT, but the value is minus. Similarly, for the inclined lines, the equation can be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT, obviously minus. This can be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT, it will be plus. Okay. So, in this way we have seen how the plot for maximum shear stress theory is obtained. This is the graphical representation, that is regular hexagon. It should be noted that maximum shear stress theory gives good result for ductile materials and not used for brittle materials. If we compare this theory of failure with the previous, that is maximum principal stress theory of failure, the first and third quadrants are alike, same, but in the second and fourth quadrant, this plot or this theory of failure has the plot a bit compressed. So, it can be said that this theory of failure will give good result when the stresses are same in nature, that is both tensile or both compressive. When the stresses are both compressive and both tensile, it will be similar to that of the maximum principal stress theory. But when one of the stress is either positive or other is negative, in that case the chances of failure will be much before it reaches the critical value. Means before reaching the critical value, the failure may occur in the component. In this plot, if we draw this line normal to both the inclined lines, then these points obtained are these points obtained have the value that is 0.5 times SUT or SYT, 0.5 SYT, 0.5 SYT, 0.5 SYT. What does this 0.5 SYT means? This 0.5 SYT means when the material is reaching this boundary level in this plot, that means the stress level when it is reaching only half of the ultimate tensile strength. The ultimate tensile strength of the material is say 100 MPa, but when it is reaching only the material is experiencing only 50 MPa, then only material starts to fail. So, failure can occur with the material has 50% of the strength reached by the stresses. So, stresses when reach 50% of the total or the critical value, then also material can fail. This is the drawback of this theory of failure. Now, this theory of failure is valid and applicable for ductile materials. In case of triaxial stress state where sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3 are nearly equal, in that case shear stress tau is equal to difference of maximum and minimum stresses, but since the maximum and minimum stresses are approximately equivalent or same, therefore the shear stress will be very low. When the shear stress will be very small, in that case where the sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 all are same, then in that case the failure will be by fracture and not by yielding. So, in that case the maximum principal stress theory, that of Rankine's theory, must be used, not this theory of failure.